Introducing the visiting Memorial Tigers. Number 1, Alejandro Arango. Number 2, Ethan Garcia. Number 5, Omar Indaye. Number 15, Edward Lugo. And number 34, Aaron Swine. Introducing today's home team, the Secaucus Patriots. Number 1, Adon Roy. Number 3, Jack Spirito. Number 11, Dion Drenica. Number 23, Kevin Kokomani. And number 34, John Young. Let's play ball.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee for our second of the final 4 games of this 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. This is the 5th place game between Memorial. They're going to be the roadside, and they're all orange. And Secaucus, they're going to be in their home white. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by Dimitri Nanis and Renee Matisic and Andrew Park. So glad that you could join us here from Fort Lee. Bergenfield opened up our day by winning in the 7th place game against Passaic. Now we'll see who will come away with their second victory of this tournament play here. Both teams losing in the quarterfinal round, but winning in the last game 2 days ago on Tuesday here at Fort Lee. Secaucus bounced back with an overtime victory against Passaic. Memorial had a big-time performance against Bergenfield, as that was Dion Drenica getting off the scoring right away with a 2-point lead. Dumped down low to Swan. Swan, the big man who's been impressive in this tournament, he's denied on his first attempt. Drenica had the nice bucket on the other end to get Secaucus going. They're 3-1 under head coach Tom Curry. Memorial 2-2 on the season under Steve Leon. Kokomani was trying to get freed up, but it's going to be a moving screen behind the play, whistled against Secaucus. And that's going to be the first foul against the Patriots here this afternoon on the foul, courtesy of John Young. So Young picks up the foul as we are 1 minute gone by here in the first quarter. Memorial had a 47-27 win a couple of days ago in their first game in the consolation bracket. Garcia over to Arango. Arango has been the leading scorer for this team on the season, and he knocks in his first 3-point attempt of the day. Alejandro Arango, the senior guard, with 3. Memorial with their first lead. Adon Roy now giving it to Young in the baseline, got his defender up in the air. Now to Jack Spirito. Spirito had 18 in the first game of the tournament, now giving it over to Kevin Kokomani. And then the follow-up attempt is good inside as Young had that putback. 4-3 lead now for Secaucus. Ethan Garcia averaging 8.5 points per game in this tournament. His shot from distance is off the mark. Roy with a rebound. Drenica at the first basket of the game. Drenica with a left-hand dribble. Kick out in the corner to Young. Back up top, Kokomani. Kokomani driving it, but dispossessed, stolen away. Here comes Arango in the open floor. Blocked away by Spirito, but there was a whistle. So it was an errant whistle by the official. It was a clean block. They're going to say out of bounds anyway, so it was good, clean defense, not a foul to the rim. Possession here for Memorial. Up top to Arango. 2 star players guarding one another here is Kokomani defending in white, number 23. Kokomani missed the first game of the tournament, that 11-point loss against Fort Lee in the quarterfinals. Garcia sets and fires from deep, no good. Kokomani with a rebound. Memorial had a heartbreaking 1-point loss against Kennedy in overtime back in the quarterfinals. Kennedy and Fort Lee will be squaring off later on tonight for the tournament championship. Roy hounded on defense by Edward Lugo. Tranika into the corner for Spirito. Spirito sets and fires from three, no good. Cocamani with a rebound. Swan limping a little bit inside. Might have been hit in the knee there. He was writhing in pain a bit. Walking it off, Cocamani step back jumper. No good off the back rim. And Young with another hustle play in the offensive glass. A long possession here for Secaucus. Roy up and under move. Too strong, trying to bank it home. Lugo in the open floor. No look pass down in the block to Swan. Works around now the perimeter to the hands of Arango. Arango now straight away. He's got three in the game. He thought about it, got it back over to the far side. Arango with the extra pass. Here's Garcia from well behind the three-point line. No good. Offensive rebound by Lugo. Arango with it, top of the key. Fake the pass, and Daihe was alone on the near block. Arango again to Garcia. Ethan Garcia, 9 points last game against Bergenfield. Lugo open for the wide open three. Got it. Patient, unselfish offensive set there for Memorial. Leads to the three-point knockdown by Lugo. Memorial with both of their main baskets coming from three-point range. 6-4 lead for the Tigers. Traniga getting to Young on the baseline. Young well wide, I should say, of the rim. Arango leading Lugo down the near side. Back to Arango. Arango pulls it out, top of the key. 3:23 left to go in the quarter. Arango from long range, no good. Tipping it out and eventually gets into the hands of Garcia. And into the waiting hands of Aaron Swan. Swan, number 34, the senior center, is averaging 17 points a game to lead the way for Memorial in this tournament. Garcia picked off the pass, just couldn't save it in time before it went out of bounds right in front of the Secaucus sideline. 8-4 lead for Memorial. 5 straight points in this game right now for the Tigers. Now under 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter of play. 8-4 lead. Working around to Cocamani. Here's a corner three, no good. Secaucus fighting for it inside. Young once again diving on the floor to get the tie-up. A possession arrow will favor Memorial right now. As again, I think they corrected. One of the officials was pointing the opposite direction, but the possession arrow favoring Memorial. .230 and counting now left to go in our opening quarter of play. So glad that he could join us here on YouTube. Here's another three, the third three-pointer knocked down by Memorial here in the first quarter. That is the second three by Edward Lugo. Lugo already was 6 in the game. Memorial extends their lead to 11-4, the long ball in their arsenal. Cocamani still looking for his first points of the game. Here's Spirito. Inside to Young, back to Cocamani, and he knocks down the triple. Just a matter of time for Kevin Cocamani. Both teams trading three-pointers apiece throughout this game. Here's another high-arcing shot, tipped away and into the hands of Swan. Johnny on the spot inside. How you don't get a body on number 34 is a big question mark for me. Secaucus has to do a better job of rebounding, certainly because they don't have the size advantage in this game. And that was easy pickings inside for Swan for his second made basket. That foul will go against Memorial, against Federico Santos, number 24, his first, team's first. Under 90 seconds left to go in a well-played first quarter between the two sides. 13-7, the lead for Memorial there in orange. Secaucus the home side here today in white. Turnover, Swan picks up the loose ball. Lugo's but leading the scoring with 6 points in the quarter for Memorial. Number 15 leaves it off. As we come up on the final minute of the first quarter. Ethan Garcia. Still scoreless here in the first quarter. Works it around to Arango. Down low on the block. Ndaye reversing it up top. That pass a little too high and too long, as that will go out of bounds with 43.5 seconds left to go. Momar Ndaye was just trying to do a little too much out of the post. A blind pass. Sailed it up and over the head of his point guard. Number 30, Luke Fournier, will come into the game for the first time for Secaucus. Fournier was a sharpshooter in the last game. A pair of threes against Passaic. Secaucus was held to only 42 points in that win. They averaged close to 54 a game. Here's Kokomani on the sideline. Kick out. Here's Fournier open for three. Too long on that shot attempt. Memorial now trying to push it with 20 seconds left to go in the quarter. Ethan Garcia's up and under and one. Garcia getting the layup in transition and the foul, and now has a chance at a three-point play with 17 seconds left to go in the first. Now goes against Fournier, only his first, team second. And Garcia makes Secaucus pay. Knocks down the foul shot, 3 points in the quarter now for number 2. 16-7, largest lead of the quarter now for Memorial. Here's that swarming full court pressure. Secaucus breaks it. Dranica passes up a would-be layup attempt to get it to Kokomani. Time is about to run out of the quarter, and Secaucus completely unaware of how much time was left to go in the quarter. They don't even get a shot off in time. Mental miscues aplenty there for the Patriots, as it was Memorial taking control at the end of that quarter, as they'll take a 16-7 lead after one. Stick around, as we'll be back for the start of the second quarter, as you're watching coverage of the fifth place game here at the 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. So a nice start to this game for Secaucus, or for Memorial, I should say. 16-7 lead over Secaucus here in our fifth place game. The Tigers trying to go 2-1 here at Fort Lee. Edward Lugo with a game-high 6 points to lead the way for the Tigers and a pair of threes in that first quarter of play. Memorial knocked down 3 triples. Inbound is to Kokomani, and now Secaucus, as they're just waiting for the clock to be put back up. So now they get the fresh 8 minutes on the scoreboard as we're underway to start the second quarter of play. Secaucus 3-1 on the season. Memorial 2-2. Deflected, good hustle play out of bounds. So the near side will stay here with Secaucus. Kokomani leading the charge with 3 points after that first quarter with a made triple. He had a 31-point performance on opening night for Secaucus in a home win against Butler, 58-24. Did not play in that first game of this tournament against Fort Lee. Nice high-low. Young finding his teammate Dranica on the baseline, and Dranica gets fouled on his way up. That'll be 2 shots upcoming now for the senior big man. 2 fouls apiece now for both teams. Personal foul will go against Swan, his first. Dranica missing on that first foul shot opportunity. He had the opening basket of the game for Secaucus. Dion Dranica is averaging 10.5 points per game in this tournament, coming off a 7-point performance against Passaic. Missed both of his foul shots, follows up his miss by banking it in himself. He gets the 2 points the hard way. 4 points in the half now for Dranica. 16-9, the lead for Memorial. On the baseline, Lugo caught up in the air. Outlets it to Garcia to the far side wing. Dye clapping his hands in frustration. He was open. Teammates not looking for him. Orango over to Garcia. Hesitates and finds inside the cutting Aaron Swan. That is the second time in this first half that Swan has been completely uncovered and leads to an easy layup inside. 18-9 the lead now for Memorial. Kokamani dropping it off. Dranica gets contacted as he makes his move on the near baseline. There'll be another foul charge against the Tigers of Memorial High School of West New York. .636 left to go in our first half. 9-point lead for Memorial. On the baseline, Spirito was caught up in the air. Now to Kokamani. Working around to the near side. Spirito now over to Kokamani. Spirito, 18 points against Fort Lee, held to only 2 against Passaic, though. That was a forced shot on the baseline by Dranica. Memorial frustrating Secaucus right now. Patriots scoring only 9 points so far in the first half. And Dye posting up his defender. Good ball movement. Garcia up and under, reverse layup. Ethan Garcia now with 5 points in the half. All Memorial early on, and Coach Tom Curry's feeling that's the problem. He'll take the timeout, talk things over, and settle his troops down. The lead has grown to 11 with 5:41 left to go in the first half as the Memorial Tigers on top of Secaucus here in our 5th place game. Memorial on top of Secaucus 20-9 here with 5:41 left to go here in the first half of play. Dan Long on the call. Thanks so much for joining us here on Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel, as we are the broadcast home for the Bridgman Athletic Department and also the proud broadcast home for this entire Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. This is going to be our 10th broadcast of this tournament. We will broadcast all 12 games of the tournament field, capped off by our championship final tonight between Fort Lee and Kennedy. Full court pressure, and Secaucus bailed out by a late foul by Memorial. That'll be the 4th Tiger foul of the half. A personal foul being charged against Edward Lugo, his first. Spirito having some difficulties again, trying to clear it up the floor. We saw what this Memorial defense did to Bergenfield, frustrating the Bears in the last round. The Bears only produced 7 total points in the half. Already only 9 points for Secaucus right now. Here's Kokamani taking Orango off the dribble. Nice up and under move. Kevin Kokamani getting through 2 different defenders. 5 points to lead the charge for Secaucus. Patriots back within 9, 20-11. Kokamani, what a nice job as Orango was trying to do with the trail strip. Split past him and cut inside Swan for the layup. Kokamani had 14 points in his debut of this tournament in the last round against Passaic. Kicked around the horn, and Dye will try his luck from three, no good. Spirito with a good box out down low. He'll corral the rebound. Spirito behind the back, getting it over to the near side, and Dye getting it tipped off of Josh Unsay last. There's the deflection and the turnover now for Memorial. Active hand to the passing lane gives the Tigers back the ball in offense. With a 20-11 lead, they led 16-7 after one. Alejandro Arango, 3 points in this game. He hit his first shot, has not attempted that many since. Been trying to get the rest of his teammates involved. Arango out up top to Fernando Hernandez. Here's Arango. No look pass on the baseline. Anticipating that was Kokomani. Not fooled at all as he tried to fit that one into the hands of the cutting Boykins on the baseline. And Secaucus is going on a run here late in the first half of play. Under 4 minutes left to go in the half. Spirito guarded all the way out by Boykins, trying to get the 5-second call. Kick out in the corner. Kokomani had a three, elected to drive closer. Overshot the rim that time. Swan with a rebound. Arango. He'll take it on the baseline. Up and under move. No. Dranica with the rebound. Spirito crossing the timeline. How can they get Kokomani going? Spirito dribbling up a storm. Gets it poked away, but it's going to be a late foul whistled against Memorial. Way too much dribbling going on by Spirito. That only can lead to trouble for the junior point guard. Wholesale changes coming on the floor now for Steve Leon and Memorial, as three new Tigers come into the game. Don Roy back onto the floor as well now for Secaucus. Roy over to Spirito. Roy falls down on the baseline, dumped down low to Kokomani. Defense collapses on him. Kokomani shot disrupted by Ndaye. Great interior defense by the Tigers. Hernandez left the ball behind though. And then a reach-in foul whistled against Ethan Garcia. Now Memorial picking up their 5th team foul as Secaucus was trying to go for the breakout. .248 remaining in the first half. Secaucus, a team that averages close to 54 points a game. Right now at only 11 points so far in this first half as we're closing in on the final 2:44 and counting. Ali Marzouk into the game for the first time off the Secaucus bench. Marzouk, interesting choice there to try to fit that one in a very tight window with a bounce pass. Two and a half minutes left to go. Another turnover here for Secaucus. Hernandez. Garcia working it around to Federico Santos. And there's going to be a foul against Secaucus, something that the Patriots really have not been doing here in the first half. It's been one of the positives for Coach Tom Curry. They've committed only 3 team fouls as compared to the 6 for Memorial. Next foul against the Tigers would send Secaucus to the line. Last meeting between these two schools came way back in 2013. Secaucus won 62-52 at Memorial. Missed 3, and Dye camping out underneath, missed the putback layup. He falls down hard on the deck, limping behind the play. Numbers advantage now for Kokomani. Secaucus not able to take advantage. Might have gotten away with a travel call there against Spirito, but we play on. Kokomani missed the initial 3-point attempt. Here's the extra look now at this possession for Secaucus. Spirito on the baseline. Dranica amidst the host of defenders. He gets fouled on his way up as Dion Dranica has been aggressive all game long, not intimidated by the likes of Aaron Swan and company. Swan will pick up the personal foul to his chagrin. That is his second personal, team 7th, and Tranika to the line for 2. Tranika with 4 points in the first half here for Secaucus, but he has struggled at the foul line, 0 for 3. .132 remaining before halftime. Secaucus trying to pull to within 8 here with the main foul shot. And they do. Tranika with 5.5. 1 of 4 at the line. 20-12 in this low-scoring first half of play between both teams, and it's going to be a timeout granted to Steve Leon and Memorials. They'll talk things over. 1:27 left to go in the first half of play. Memorial on top of Secaucus by 8. Memorial has scored only 4 points in this quarter after taking a 16-7 advantage after the first 8 minutes of play. Secaucus not much better, only 5 points for the Patriots in this quarter. So a very low-scoring quarter to say the least. Nine combined points between the two sides as we're checking in now with only 1:27 left to go until halftime. Out of the timeout for Memorial, they play without Swan on the floor. Jesus Santos is checked into the game as they spread it wide into the corners. Garcia pressed out, covered by a Don Roy. In the zone look, give and go inside. Fumbled by Boykins, leads to a turnover the other way. Spirito in the open floor, left the layup short on the right side, but does get fouled in the act of shooting. And that will send Secaucus to the line again, stopping the clock, getting to the foul line, getting those point opportunities against Memorial. Spirito missing that first foul shot. Arango got charged with the foul, his first, team's 8th. Spirito unlucky. That last one rattled in and out, but Secaucus fortunate that it last deflected off of Memorial, so possession will stay underneath the rim on offense here for Secaucus. Trying to pull closer. They trail by 8. Kokamani looking for an outlet, nearly 5-second call. Just got it in time. Spirito over to Roy. Tranika picks up his dribble, looking for an outlet, airmails that one away, leads to a turnover. Here's Arango in the open floor, goes up and under, missing the layup though. Spirito with good defense, not falling for the Euro step. Arango would have wanted that one back, under 30 seconds left to go in the half. Still only 9 combined points between these two teams. Spirito, a whirling dervish, losing it out of bounds. It'll stay here with Secaucus. Suffocating defense on both sides of the floor in the second quarter for both teams. Offense is really struggling to produce here today in this 5th place game. Spirito will outlet it up top to Tranika. Tranika outletting it to Roy. As we approach the final 10 seconds of the first half. Secaucus trying to pull closer here as Memorial's been in control. Trying to bounce that pass in, but a late whistle sounds with 4.1 on the clock. They're going to say it was a kick. So it's going to be an inbounds upcoming for Secaucus. 4.1 left. Kokamani, double team comes to him. He has to try to get the shot off in time, but it gets deflected as well. Great defensive possession there by Memorial, as the Tigers have put their claws into Secaucus, holding the Patriots to only 12 points in the first half, but Secaucus doing a great job defensively of their own, holding Memorial to only 20 points in the half, 4 points total in the second quarter. As we head to halftime of a low-scoring game, Memorial of West New York on top of Secaucus by a score of 20-12. Stick around as we'll take the break at halftime and bring you back all the coverage to begin the second half of play. You're watching the coverage here on YouTube. Welcome back, everybody, inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee, where we're moments away for the resumption of play and the start of the second half of this fifth-place game showdown between Memorial and Secaucus. Memorial on top of the Patriots by a score of 20-12. Memorial outscored Secaucus 16-7 in the first quarter, and then it was a rock fight in that second quarter. Secaucus outscoring Memorial 5-4 in the second quarter of play. Looking at the stats from the first half of play, Edward Lugo and Aaron Swan leading the way in terms of points with 6 points apiece for Memorial in that first half. Ethan Garcia had 5 and Alejandro Arango held to only 3. Secaucus had 5 points apiece from Kevin Kokamani and Dion Dranica. And then John Young also chipped in 2. Yeah, that's been it. Only 3 scorers so far in this game for Secaucus, as the Patriots really have struggling to find openings against Memorial. Nothing new in this tournament. We saw the last time Memorial played, they held Bergenfield to only 7 points in the first half of play, holding Secaucus to only 12 in the first 16 minutes of action. This is our second game of the day. We'll have 2 more following us here. Our third place game is going to be taking place after this one has come to a conclusion. Passaic Valley taking on Wayne Hills in a matchup of 2 league rivals. Squaring off for third place hardware, and then we will finish off tonight with the tournament championship round. Kennedy, the 2019 tournament champions, trying to defend their crown here against the host team in the Bridgman of Fort Lee. Fort Lee defeated Secaucus in the quarterfinals back on Monday. Memorial lost to Kennedy in a heartbreaker in overtime in the quarters back on Monday. So with the inbounds, we are underway for the start of the second half. Dan Long, so glad that he could join us here on our Fort Lee Athletics Department YouTube channel. Memorial in the road orange. Secaucus defending in their 2-3 zone in the home white. There's Arango, the leading scorer on the season for Memorial, outletting it over to the near side wing to Garcia. Garcia scoring 5 points in the first half. Memorial only took 1 foul shot in that first half of play. That was the Garcia and 1. They knocked down 3 3-pointers early on, but then felt cold afterwards. There's a turnover to begin the second half, shuffling the feet. And a turnover right away for Memorial. Omar Ndaye hurt his ankles, so Jesus Santos getting the start to begin this second half. Ndaye at the end of the Memorial bench. We'll see if he'll come back into this game. High arcing shot attempt by Spirito missing. But the ensuing rebound comes out to Kokamani. He takes the 3, no good. Garcia, the smallest man on the floor, skying high for the rebound. Poked away from behind. They're going to say last touch. Now the officials coming together to see whether or not this is going to be an overruled call. And that's just what it is. The official on the far side ran over to correct his partner. He had the better viewing point. Said that it was last touch off of Secaucus. So Memorial now with possession here on offense with a minute gone by here in the third quarter. Garcia gets fouled on the floor. They're going to foul. They're going to say Roy picks up the foul. His team's first of the second half here for Secaucus. Secaucus only committed 3 team fouls in the first half. Memorial having trouble solving this 2-3 zone look for Secaucus in the game. There's a deflected pass. Arango's pass will be taken in by Garcia. Will take his time. 90 seconds gone by here in the second half. Lugo to Swan. Back to Lugo. Up top now. Memorial looking for their 3rd win of the year. Secaucus looking for win number 4 in their first 5 games. Orango on the far corner. Secaucus zone has been doing the job. Swan muscles his way inside, though, and one. Memorial patiently got it to their big man, who turned and fired and weathered the contact and laid it up and in. Swan now with a game-high 8 points after Dranica picked up the foul. Swan missing on that one, clapping his hands in frustration after that missed opportunity. He's got 8, though, to lead the way on offense. Dranica, extra pass down low to Young. He bobbled it, but still recovers on the baseline to lay it in. Young with 4 points in the game. Secaucus on the board here to start the second half. 22-14 the lead for Memorial. Orango over to the near side, back to Orango, now reversing it to Lugo. Lugo has a pair of threes in the game. Swan with that nice touch pass to Garcia, frees him up, but he left the shot short. Roy with a rebound. Roy over to Spirito. Spirito looking for someone. Gets it to Young. Young looks initially go down low in the post. Kokamani was defended nicely down low. Spirito, Kokamani, who can create their own shot off a dribble. Dranica. Close quarters, banked it off of Kokamani's leg. He turns around and fires. Hotly contested by a pair of defenders, and then a foul whistled after Young got the offensive rebound. John Young, the senior, has been doing all the little hustle plays to get scoring opportunities, and now will try to increase his total in this game at the foul line. Young fouled in the act of shooting, second personal foul against Santos. Young sinks in the first foul shot. He's got 5 in the game. Jesus Santos will check out with that second personal foul. Jada Boykins, the sophomore, will come in for him. Young's second foul shot too strong. Dranica, though, gets the offensive rebound, tries to go back up with it, and he gets called for the travel. Dranica was just trying to do a little too much. He did a good job of hustling for the offensive rebound, but then actually charged right into the defender, gets called for the travel. There on the other end, a much-needed triple there by Edward Lugo. Lugo's been a flamethrower from outside. 3 three-pointers in the game for number 15. He's got a game-high 9 points now for Memorial. Kokamani driving on the baseline, too long on the layup attempt. Frustration setting in for number 23 in white. Spirito reading the eyes, could not corral it cleanly, and Orango was fouled as he took it on the far baseline. Foul's going to go against Young, his second, team's third. Kick ball by Dranica as they try to quick give and go with the cutting Swan inside. So Edward Lugo now with 9 points. He's the leading scorer for Memorial. They lead by 10, 25-15 here late in the third quarter. And a very low-scoring game. A score that you could see more frequently in the first quarter. There's Swan. He got the position. When he gets that close, it's automatic. Swan continues his strong tournament. 10 points now in the game for Aaron Swan. Came in averaging 17 points a game in the tournament. Dranica could have been called for another travel, but it was going to be a foul whistled instead on the floor against Alejandro Orango. Orango picking up the personal foul, his second, team second of the half. Nice give and go. Spirito finding Roy inside. Roy gets fouled. And once again, that'll stop the clock with 3:28 left to go in the quarter. And we'll send Don Roy to the line, trying to once again pull Secaucus to within 10. Third personal foul against Aaron Swan. Will that send the big man to the Memorial bench? And it will. Just as he was starting to assert himself, he had scored 4 points in this third quarter. But Swan sits with 3. Roy missing a pair at the line. Dranica momentarily had the loose ball, but then he lost it. Secaucus was only 1 of 5 at the foul line in the first half. Their troubles continue here in the second. They forced the turnover, but they're down 12, 27-15. Here in the third quarter as we come up on the final 3 minutes of play. Dranica, Roy, down low. Kokomani too hot to handle. Boykins with the turnover. Memorial will slow it down according to head coach Steve Leon. And trying to see how to operate here. They're in control by 12. Neither team getting any flow going offensively in this contest. Lugo, Garcia, Arango now around the horn. Trying to solve the 2-3 zone. Garcia patiently finding Boykins underneath, and the layup, though, was missed by Jesus Santos. They did everything on that play except the execution of the shot. That was pinpoint touch passing against the zone. Here's Spirito. He's trying to will that one in, but he left it short. A tie-up ensues. Jump ball and possession arrow will favor Secaucus. So the hustle play there by Dranica, tying it up with Boykins, allows the possession to stay on this side of the floor with Secaucus. 2:03 left to go in the third quarter. 27-15 still. A 12-point deficit facing the Patriots. As they outlet it up top to Roy. Spirito. Scoreless in this game. Down low to Young. Young's been the most effective post player here this afternoon for Secaucus. Once again, John Young will draw the contact and the foul. And will send number 34 to the foul line. 4th team foul of the game here in the second half against Memorial. The fouls started to pile up on the front line of Coach Steve Leon's side. Young missing on the foul shot, though. Again, foul shots. Missed opportunities here for Secaucus. They have 9 misses at the foul line here today. So Young was about to miss the foul shot again, but a lane violation against Memorial. Again, 9 misses at the foul line here today in a low-scoring game. Everything proves so costly. Make it 10 misses. Young has missed his last 3 at the charity stripe. Coach Tom Curry exasperated after his team's last miss. Now Memorial with 90 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Again, just taking their time to dribble out some time. That last foul was against Jesus Santos, his 3rd. So Santos, who came in for Swan, who picked up 3, now with 3 of his own. Arango picks up his dribble, outlets it to Lugo. Arango has been a non-factor in this game, averaging 13.5 points per game in the tournament. He is stuck on the 3 that he had to start the contest. The first shot of the game, Arango's pass is intercepted by Spirito, and Spirito lays it in for his first 2 points of the game. Back to a 10-point lead for Memorial, 27-17. Inside the zone, kick out to Arango on the baseline. Back to Arango. Not looking for a shot right now. Trying to play more of a facilitating role. Garcia outlets it to Lugo. I don't want to get into number 15's hands. He's knocked down 3 threes in the game. Here goes Lugo. He's patient, though, and Memorial is patient as well. They're fine with just running the clock. They have the lead in their favor. They turn it over again, though. Spirito getting it to Cocamani. Cocamani's layup rolls in and out. Unlucky there for number 23. A lot of English on that shot. Arango trying to beat the buzzer, left it short. Rebounded underneath, and that will end another low-scoring quarter in this rock fight between Memorial and Secaucus for 5th place in the 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. Still anybody's ball game. 10-point lead for Memorial. Feels like it's even larger than that based on how this game has been going. A low-scoring game after Memorial took a 16-7 lead after the first quarter. Memorial has scored only 11 total points in the second and third quarters combined. Secaucus with combined 10 points in the second and third quarters. Aaron Swan with 10 points. Edward Lugo with 9 points. They're the two leading scorers for Memorial. Dranica, Cocamani, and Young with 5 points apiece for Secaucus. How can the Patriots generate some offense here today? In their first game of the tournament, they were held to 42 points by Fort Lee. That was their lowest point outage of the season. Before then, they only put up 42 in a win against Passaic in the last game. I don't think they're going to get to 42 in this game. As we're just underway, the start of the fourth quarter. Dan Long happy they could join us courtside. Spirito has been active in the passing lanes the last couple of possessions, forcing turnovers. Again, Memorial is just going to be content with dribbling out some precious seconds on each and every possession until Secaucus extends their 2-3 zone out a bit. They've started to do just that. Here's a long-range three from Memorial, knocked down. Elliot Najur. He has made 1 3-pointer in each game of this tournament. That was a big one here. Extending the Memorial lead now to 13, 30-17. As we're just underway in the start of the fourth quarter. Great on-ball defense there by Arango. Kick out to Cocamani. Hesitates on the baseline, leans in, leaves it short. Dranica fouls it up. And he'll be fouled. We'll see if it's going to be in the act. It is. 2 shots upcoming now for Dion Dranica. Dranica's first foul shot is swished home. Secaucus has to make the most of these opportunities they get at the foul line the rest of this game. They go 1 of 2 that trip. Memorial looking to push it down the floor before that zone can get set. 30-18 now the lead for Memorial. Trying to win their last 2 games of this tournament and get above 500. With a win here today, they'd move to 3-2 on the season. Started off their year winning at home against Nutley, lost against St. Peter's Prep, and they lost in the first game here against Kennedy. They bounced back against Bergenfield, looking to do so here again against Secaucus. Dranica with a rebound on the missed 3. Roy, kick out to Spirito. Secaucus has made only 1 3 in this game. That was a 3 by Kokomani early on in the game. Off the back rim, no good by Kokomani. He's had a tough day. Only 5 points in the game. There's a foul on the other side against Secaucus. Fourth team foul against Secaucus, and that will be in the act of shooting, so Memorial will head to the line for a pair. Elliot Nagur knocking down the foul shot. He's got 4 points since coming into this game off the bench to begin this fourth quarter. He's been that spark, the sophomore guard. Nagur making it look easy. Instant offense off the bench for Coach Steve Leon. 2 made foul shots and a 3. He's got 5 points. 32-18 now the lead for Memorial. Time beginning to become a factor here for Secaucus. Dranica, he'll step up and launch from 3. Barely hits the front iron. That leads to a breakout the other way. And Swan, the big man, runs the floor. Gets the uncontested layup. He now has 12 points in the game. Timeout taken with 5:28 left to go here in the fourth quarter. And Memorial starting to distance themselves a bit from Secaucus. Their lead grows to 34-18. The upcoming schedule for both sides for Memorial, they'll head back home and host Lincoln in an HCIAL American Division game. They'll host Lincoln, then travel to Bayonne on January 6th and be back home for back-to-back games against Hoboken and Dickinson on January 8th and 11th. For Secaucus, they will hit the road on January 5th and take on Bergen Charter as part of the NJIC's Liberty Division play. Then they'll play host to Dwight Englewood on January 7th before back-to-back road games at Ridgefield and at Harrison on January 10th and 12th. Memorial trying to put up the 2 best defensive performances of the tournament in back-to-back outings. They held Bergenfield to only 27 points. Secaucus may not get to that threshold here. They're stuck on 18. 5:19 and counting left to go here in the fourth quarter. Spirito to Roy. Fournier. Now Spirito. Nothing coming easily here against the 2-3 of Memorial. They missed that short 3. Now Kokomani pulling it back out. Spirito with a hesitation move. Cross court to Roy. Dranica, double team comes to him. Memorial forces you to make quick decisions on offense. A 3 missed by Fournier, rebounded by Garcia. What a performance by this defense here from Memorial. Coach Leon telling Arango to slow it down. 4.5 minutes left to go in regulation. No rush here for the Tigers. Dumping down low inside. Boykin getting a couple of defenders to fly up in the air, and then a late whistle. He gets the benefit of that call as he was on his way up. That'll be a 2-shot foul now for Jada Boykins. Both teams now with 5 fouls apiece. That foul going against Dranica, his second. Jada Boykins getting a nice help there. As that caroms high off the back of the rim and then kissed off the glass for another one. Boykins knocks in a pair. So Memorial has been capitalizing when they've gotten to the foul line. That has not been the case here today for Secaucus. And the shots just have not been falling for the Patriots. Again, only 1 3 made so far in this game by Secaucus. Memorial has made 5 threes in this game. Joshua Unsay into the game, number 14 in white. Unsay over into the corner to Kokamani. Spirito, no look to Unsay on the baseline. Good ball movement. Leads to Fournier's 3, no good. Garcia will allow it to roll out of bounds in front of us. 3:44 remaining of the game. And Memorial doubling up Secaucus 36-18. Memorial went 3-5 in last year's shortened season. Their last full season, though, they went 16-9 in 2019-2020. Garcia, nice drive and finish with the assist to Aaron Swan. Swan now with a game-high 14. Young turnaround shot, no good, and Swan corrals the loose ball. Memorial in control now. Largest lead of the game is 20, 38-18. Arango got hit when he was making his dribble drive to the rim. The foul will be whistled against Secaucus on the floor. So no shooting foul just yet. It'll be a foul against Marzouk. His second. Team 6. Here's a corner 3. Nagur missing. But he fouls his own miss, gets it out to Arango. Now Lugo will dribble it out right in front of his own bench. Under 3 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Nice give and go again. A no-look finish over to Swan. And Swan has been camped out underneath the rim all game long, unguarded. 16 points for Aaron Swan. He continues to dominate in this tournament for Memorial. Missed 3 by Spirito, and then a push underneath against Swan. As Swan will pick up his 4th personal foul. That's the only thing that he has not been doing well in this game. This is the first time in this tournament that I think the big man has been punished for being big. I don't know if that was a foul necessarily on that last play. 6-team foul. Swan has to stay away from that last foul to foul out of this game. 40-18 lead for Memorial. Secaucus just trying to get to 20 points in this game. Fournier, kick out 3, no good. Swan with a rebound underneath. And hands off to Arango. Arango getting it down the other way. Up and under, Edward Lugo. Lugo now with 11. All Memorial in this game as Secaucus going to fall for only the 2nd time so far this season. Patriots befuddled by this zone defense of Memorial. Memorial about to finish in 5th place in this tournament at Fort Lee. Lugo transition 3, no good. Tranika and Secaucus will take a timeout with 1:37 left to go in the contest. A dominant defensive performance by the Memorial Tigers of West New York. They lead 42-18 as we're closing in on the conclusion of our 10th game of this tournament coming up next here on YouTube. So again, our next game in this tournament is going to be our 11th game overall in the span of 4 days. It'll be the 3rd place showdown between league rivals in Passaic Valley and Wayne Hills. Wayne Hills was a late entry into this tournament because Westwood could not play with COVID issues. Normally you don't have 2 teams that are from the same conference and same division, I should say, playing each other. Both hail from the Big North Independence Division, so they will match up here in a non-league game for 3rd place in the tournament. That's coming up next, Wayne Hills and Passaic Valley. Out of the timeout, it's going to be a foul whistled A.J. Watts, who's come into the game off the bench for Secaucus, driving in the baseline, drew the contact, and now will earn himself a chance at the line for two. With 1:23 left to go in the ball game. Watts missing on the foul shot. "12 misses at the foul line here tonight for Secaucus. Watts empty on that last trip down. Now Memorial will hold on to it past the midcourt stripe. 42-18 the lead for the Tigers. As all the reserves have come onto the floor for Coach Tom Curry, it's going to be back to the drawing board as Memorial turns that one over. Again, they'll go back into the NJIC and start to play some of their league games. They're 2-0 already in divisional play. Coming into the new year. And we wish all the teams that have participated in this tournament the very best in 2022. There's an outlet down the floor, and Lugo with a left-hand finish. Edward Lugo with 13 points. He's just behind Aaron Swan's game-high 16. He has been solid here for Memorial today. High-arcing three. That was an air ball, and now Memorial. Good sportsmanship displayed here by Coach Leon, telling his team when they have the opportunity to push for even more, just to dribble it out and dribble out the remaining clock. But what about this defense for the Tigers? After they gave up 64 in their first game of the tournament, as Lugo cuts in again for another 2 points to give him 15. After giving up 64 to Kennedy in game number 1 of the tournament, they have now only surrendered 27 points to Bergenfield in game number 2 and only 18 to Secaucus here in game number 3. And that will do it. The final score of this game, Memorial 46 and Secaucus 18. Memorial will finish in 5th place in this tournament and will go to 3-2 on the season. Secaucus, with the defeat, will fall to 3-2. And again, we wish both teams best of luck in the continuing parts of their season. We'll take a timeout here before resuming the tournament for our 3rd place showdown, Passaic Valley taking on Wayne Hills. For our camera operator, Renee Matisich, and my producer, Dimitri Nanis, I'm Dan Long saying so long from Fort Lee. You've been watching coverage of the 2021 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament. Take care, everybody.